hooker. He's written many soundtracks, and whilst his early influences were the blues, it's his recent work with world music which has inspired him and indeed his audiences. Think Buena Vista Social Club. Joining us from Los Angeles is Mr. Cooder. Thank you for your time, sir. How are you?
I'm real good, thanks.
A lot of us first kind of hooked into you when you worked with the Rolling Stones on the Let It Bleed album. The Stones have incidentally just finished a tour of Australia. That must have been a fantastic period for you and certainly exposed your talents to the world at large.
Yeah, well, I was out of high school, and at that moment in time, folk rock had exploded suddenly as a style, as something people were fascinated by, and not only that, but in a business sense, records began to sell like hotcakes. I mean, you know, you're talking about the Bob Dylan, the moment of that, the moment of the so-called British invasion, the moment of the Byrds, which I particularly recall because, I mean, they were from Los Angeles and fantastic. You know, we used to go see them and think, well, we can do this. So in one way or another, I started doing record sessions. So it was just I'm a teenager right around then, 18, 19 years old, 20 maybe, just beginning to learn what this was all about, you know, and these experiences it just came from nowhere for me, you know. I guess I was lucky.
Mention the name Cooder and a lot of people will say Paris, Texas. That was another smash for you. What a wonderful soundtrack.
Yes, a smash in a funny way, but a small thing. But I mean, sometimes you get the combination of circumstances, a film that is great and beautiful, and a sound that just seems to weave into it and work, and so then you have a complete package. And of course, the visual and the music just went together, and we did very well. And it was an image of an environment that meant something. The sound and the desert and Harry Dean walking around. It was very intriguing to everybody, I think.
Buena Vista Social Club, tell us how your Cuban experiment came to be, getting all these old guys together and making such magic music.
So there we were in Havana saying, what shall we do? We're here, we have studio time, we have some Cuban musicians. The answer was, let's get some more of them. And just start inviting people and come into the room and play and sing and follow your nose. And that was what it was. So it was unplanned and it was unpremeditated, and the whole thing was a crazy fluke almost, you see.
Your new album is a collaboration with Manuel Galban. Pronounce it for me?
Galban with an N on the end.
Galban.
Galban.
Wonderful music. Tell me about the
Yeah.
decision to do a duo album.
Well, circumstances being what they were, Ibrahim Ferrer, we were trying to get a record together for him after Buena Vista, and the Zafiros, the famous sort of doo-wop Cuban quartet that Manuel Galban had been part of in the 60s, and I thought, well, Ibrahim could sing some of these tunes with these arrangements, this sort of hybrid American, almost rhythm and blues grafted into the Cuban song, which was quite unique. And they had died, but he lived on, and there he was, so he came down to the studio, and I thought, my God, a twanging Cuban, you know, who ever heard of such a thing? And I'd never heard of this kind of stuff in Cuba, and everybody was saying, well, Galban is unique. You have to understand nobody in Cuba ever played like this or approached the Cuban form this way. I'm always fooling around with things that hopefully I open my head to. You know, it's nothing I intend to do or plan to do ever. Stuff just happens. I think that's the musical path, though.